Well, hello and welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC. I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host, and I am so excited to be with you again today. You know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. You know, our guiding leadership principle is the law of contribution, which says growing yourself enables you to grow others. So you can't give what you don't have. So in order to grow yourself, to help others, you must grow yourself. We believe that outstanding leaders like yourself will help us help others. So tonight we have not one, not two, but three dynamic leaders with us tonight. And you may think that these are triplets, but they're really not. So we have with us the Lawdins girls from Jennings, Louisiana. So we have Olivia Lawdins, we have Orelia Lawdins, and we have Octavia Lawdins. So welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Well, I am so excited about having you guys on, and this is Aurelia. This is like Saturday Night Live for Aurelia. This is her second time being on the show. So let me do a proper introduction. You know, I always like to do a proper introduction of each guest. So let me introduce Olivia. Olivia is a native of Jennings, Louisiana. She received her Bachelor of Science degree in kinesiology with a concentration in exercise science from the University of Louisiana at Monroe in 2005, with the intent of pursuing her goal to be a physical therapist. Her love for competition from early on in life, with pageants to sports and collegiate swimming and diving, landed her an amazing opportunity to begin her professional career. She started her professional career with Abbott Diagnostics in 2006, taking her from the minor leagues to the major league in her professional medical sales career, working in Southwest Texas, all the way up to the largest medical center in the world, the Texas Medical Center. In 2012, Olivia took a pivot and moved on from medical sales and moved into advertising sales with AT&T and TV 59, KUBE. In that time, Olivia was highly involved in media communication, sitting on the board of Media Alliance of Houston, an active member of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, as a member of the Black Heritage Committee and Uncorked Wine Committee. Now, she probably spent a whole lot of time with that Uncorked Wine Committee, right? Olivia then also decided to branch out into entrepreneurship. She became co-owner of is it La Creole Bistro? And executive board member for Southern Creole Food LLC. In 2018, you know, the market took a downturn and Olivia just kept on moving. She went back into sales and moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Close to Pittsburgh. She was trying to be a Steelers fan, but she didn't get there. After spending a year learning the scope of the city of brotherly love, Olivia moved back down south to New Orleans, where she currently resides. Over the last 2 years, Olivia has been employed with QIAGEN North America as a customer solutions manager, covering the Southern Gulf region. Olivia now is doing a course correction, and she's on to new adventures and new activities in her life, and we'll talk about that. In addition to being a member of St. Peter Claver Catholic Church in New Orleans, Olivia is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the Knights and Ladies of St. Peter Claver. In her spare time, she enjoys arts and crafts, working out, riding horses, spending time with the family in the country, and traveling the world. Let's welcome Miss Olivia Lawdins.
Hello.
All right. So
bios after that. Oh my
so we're going to move on to Orelia. Now, Orelia, like I said, this is her second time being a guest. So some of you already know her, but I'm going to do a reintroduction of her as well. She is also a native of Jennings, Louisiana. Orelia graduated from Jennings High School in 2005. She actively participated in sports, school, and community activities and pageants where she excelled in all areas of holding many local, state, and national titles. So she's kind of gifted, talented. That's what she says, right? She is ranked on local and state and national levels. She is a 4-time state champion in extemporaneous speaking and continues to work in various programs instituting educational and personal development opportunities within her local community. In 2004, she received a key to the city of Jennings for her outstanding community service. Ms. Lawdins attended Northwestern State University, where she represented her school as the Northwestern State University cheerleader, Miss Black and Gold for Southwest Region, and gained a national title of Miss Black US United. While at Northwestern State, Orelia accumulated several academic accolades. So she got some brains too. She received her Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology and a minor in business from Northwestern State in 2009. She later went on to Southern University Law Center, where she pursued and obtained her Juris Doctorate degree in 2014. I told you the girl was smart. Look at that. She is an active member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Why do they say all of that? She is a Louisiana bar. She's a member of the Louisiana Bar Association, the American Bar Association, and sits on several boards where she serves as a legal liaison and advisor. She is also a member of Our Lady Perpetual Help Catholic Church in Jennings, Louisiana. Ms. Lawdins works diligently within her community to assist in growth, education, and other opportunities were available to help young and old members of the community. Let's welcome Ms. Orelia Lawdins.
I feel like I left out a bunch in my bio.
Your bio is real short.
Oh yeah, like they started all the way from high school.
Yeah. Olivia put in kindergarten too.
Oh my gosh.
So let's welcome the baby of the family, Miss Octavia Lawdins, who currently resides in Beaumont, Texas. She recently graduated last year from Lamar University with a bachelor's degree in industrial technology. She recently became a first-time mother this year in February, and we'll talk about the little baby here. And everything she wanted to pursue this year has been a challenge due to COVID-19. She said that she wanted to pursue a career in manufacturing and production, but COVID is not going to hold her down long. God had other plans. So for her and her fiance, they got involved in real estate. See, they learned just to move with the wind and just adapt and overcome. They got involved with real estate and they're starting their own contracting company. So let's welcome Ms. Octavia Lawdins. And I guess I'll say this from high school, right? You're a state champion basketball player, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Like I'm the athlete, but I
So
I am the natural born athlete in the family. She's the third natural born. Well, maybe the second.
Third.
Right. See, the competition has already started, ladies and gentlemen. So, the Lawdin girls are with us tonight to just really talk about, I say, small town girls doing some big things in America. And I couldn't think of three sisters who would be better to have this conversation with than Olivia, Orelia, and Octavia. So thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Awesome. So tell us, ladies, and I'm going to start with the senior member of the family. I was going to say older, but I'm not going to do that. The senior member of the family. So Olivia, I know I read your bio, but help bring that to life. Tell us a little bit about your journey to leadership, and how did you get to where you are today?
Yes, definitely. My journey to leadership started right out of college with Abbott Diagnostics, with a great mentor and leader, using the power of my network and taking on a challenge to move from Louisiana to South Texas, unknown territory, uncharted waters, and just kind of excelled in that level with my diligence and just constantly working hard and thinking outside the box. Was promoted to the Texas Medical Center in 2009, which definitely took me out of my comfort zone because it really excelled from the AAA league to the major league really, really quickly. But again, under great leadership, I was able to excel there. Then, in 2012, things happened throughout my career, and we'll got a couple bullet points that Cedrick gave to us of kind of what helped me grow up throughout my journey in my career. 2012, I took a turn and went to the media and advertising marketing position in Houston, Texas. Did that for about 3 to 4 years with my background in networking as well as love for talking to people as well as sales. Took another pivot going into my own entrepreneurial journey, which took me from Houston to Beaumont, Texas, and really ran a marketing campaign as well as a restaurant there for about 3 years. With the turn of the industry, I was given the opportunity to relocate to Philadelphia, which is another big scary moment. I literally packed up my 4-bedroom house and drove 22 and a half hours to Philadelphia with only 5 suitcases and everything that I could fit, not knowing that everything in Texas is truly bigger. Everything on the East Coast is a box, and not knowing what square footage I was going to get. My 5 suitcases is all I took, and took the opportunity to go back into the medical industry in 2018. When given the opportunity, again, with the power of networking, I was able to move back south to New Orleans. I really had the desire to move back to Texas, but again, opportunity opened for me to come back south, and New Orleans was my destination. I love New Orleans, and that's kind of where I am. And over the last 3 months, COVID has taken a turn in the industry with a lot of layoffs. So just now taking a pivot to see what's next in my career and basically what door is going to be open for me in the given time. So that's a highlight and a start of how I got my start.
Awesome. Well, I love it, and I know that pivots in life happens to everybody, and it's all about how you navigate through those pivots. So that is awesome. So I'm going to go to the baby first because because I want to give her a chance to get in. I know the lawyer is going to take over in a little bit. So
Yes. So thank you for coming to me next, because you were talking all day.
So tell us a little bit tell everybody else a little bit about yourself and how you get to where you are today.
Well, of course, I'm the baby of the family, so I didn't take the route as my other 2 sisters. So I didn't just really continue college right after high school. When I graduated, I went to Dallas on a basketball scholarship. I did not like the school at all, so we only stayed there a semester. And I ended up moving to Baton Rouge, where Orelia was, because I always said I did not want to move back home. And got to Baton Rouge, ended up getting into cosmetology school. Done my year, finished, went back to school at BRSCC, Baton Rouge Community College, and just so happened with probably 2 years, started back playing basketball. Not something, I don't think I really wanted to play basketball at the time, because I was really trying to focus on school, but it just kind of happened. Kind of just walked on, tried out, and you know. You got a championship there too. I did. I got a ring there too. Actually.
Okay.
And I ended up
you bring championships wherever you go. In other words.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I gave me a scholarship the next year. I didn't have to worry about paying for school. I think I had outgrown Baton Rouge because I was too comfortable. I was living with my uncle. You know, I didn't really have any bills. I was just living life. And then once I moved to Beaumont, Olivia was originally supposed to be in Houston, so I was supposed to move to Houston. But she was, you know, starting a new journey. So I was like, okay, well, I'm coming too. So within a week, I packed all my stuff and I moved. No warning, nothing. I just moved. I ended up at a dealership. And at that point, I was like, this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life, because I was working long hours. I felt like I was still young, like I still had time. So I ended up getting back into school. Originally, I thought I wanted to be like my big sister, and I wanted to be a physical therapist. And got into the second part of anatomy, and I was like, this is boring. I don't want to do this. So I ended up switching and went into industrial technology. I wanted to go into engineering, but I didn't want to start over because I already had, I received my associate degree just in, general studies. And I just felt like I was just wasting time. And then my sister here was like, oh, you just want to be a professional student. I'm not going to be like you. I'm not going to do that. So I was, the whole journey just being in Beaumont, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, who I am, trying to identify myself. And on top of that, I really learned my growth when my daddy told me I had to pay my own car note and my insurance.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
When he cut you off, it was like, uh-oh, I got to go.
So at that point, I really had to learn how to not only manage continuing to go to school, but continuing to work as well, because now I have bills. And I didn't have that before.
Imagine that.
I need the sound effects because it's just like I have bills. It's been a long time to get bills. The other two been having bills. See, that's not my fault because I'm the last child. I feel like it's not my fault. And so I graduated from Lamar. I did all my studies online because I had to work. So I was a full-time, had a full-time job, full-time student. Ended up graduating last year. Within a month after graduating, I was looking for jobs, applying for jobs. I was really focused on getting into my career because I had accomplished all my goals that year. The only thing I needed was to jump into a career. And then boom, found out I was pregnant.
Hey, well, they say when you play with fire, it happens.
Right. So you got a diploma and a ring at the same time. So
I did.
Yeah, that's right. You you had a baby and got engaged. And so what's the baby's name?
Her name is Gracelyn Johnson.
Gracelyn Johnson. And how old is she?
She is 8 months.
8 months. Awesome. And what's the fiance's name?
Paul Johnson.
You had to think about that for a second. Okay.
I hope he's not watching.
Okay. All right. So now let's pivot to the elders. Well, not the elder statesman. Just to Orelia.
She's the sheep of the family.
She's
the middle child.
Okay, so then let's go to the sheep of the family, Miss Orelia. So, we know you went to law school. Tell us what made you decide to that you want to be a lawyer?
I was sick and I decided I wanted to be a lawyer because I did not want to wake up early. And it made sense to get a terminal degree so that I didn't have to stay in school like a really long time and try to figure out what I wanted to do. When I got out, it would be like I knew what I was going to do. Although it doesn't really work like that, but that was what I had made up in my mind at about 6.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you three are from Jennings, Louisiana. You know, Jennings is about the size of my laptop. And
you have more than one red light. Thank you.
That's right. That's right. Y'all have 3 now. I'm good.
Louisiana oil.
Yes. Well, now Jennings is a great place. Actually, I used to spend a lot of summers there when I was growing up at my Aunt B's house. So yes, I love my Jennings. Now, what made you guys decide that, you know, once you left high school and you moved on, not to move back to, because, you know, a lot of people move back to small towns because they have friends and family there. What made you guys decide to move on from there? I'll start with Olivia.
For me, it was about opportunity. I always knew I had a fall back, but I wanted to make sure that I created my own lanes and environments to give, you know, my parents and my siblings somewhere else to visit outside of the hometown. I know my dad is never moving away from Jennings, so I know, again, it's always a fall back for me if I ever decide to move back. But again, you got to create your own lane. You know, even though you have that foundation from home, you have to excel in your own, you know, desires and wants and kind of go from there.
Okay. All right. Miss Orelia?
So I was probably the most adamant about moving away from home. I wasn't staying. Like, there's college, and I think the option was you have public, private, or Ivy League. Take your pick because you're not staying here. So our parents were quite helpful in getting us out the door. And it's odd that I found myself back here, but it was really just, that's the next step in life for me. It was, you graduated from high school, next step is college. You know, you have to establish yourself on your own and figure out kind of really what you want to do in life. So that's what was next for me.
Okay. All right. Awesome. And Octavia, you said you definitely didn't want to go back to Jennings. So what made you decide to not want to go back?
I didn't want to go back to Jennings because I knew once I left, like, I needed to go out and grow. Being that I am the baby, you know, I kind of got a lot of things that I already wanted. So I didn't want to just come back home and just be comfortable. Like, I didn't want to just be that bare minimum, just kind of making it. You know, and in small towns, that's what you see a lot of. You know, people just kind of doing the bare minimum, not really trying to grow or move up to the next level. They're okay with what they're doing. And I didn't want my life to be like that. So I knew that if I came back, that's probably what would happen.
Okay. All right. You had that growth mindset. You wanted something bigger in life. There's nothing wrong with living in a small town. It's just you wanted something more for yourself.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right.
Lacked opportunity. As unfortunate as it is, it just lacks opportunity for people our age, our demographic, even our race to really grow.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely understand that. So, Aurelia, tell us a little bit about your law practice and help us understand for people who are listening out there, who's your ideal client?
I have a few ideal clients. I've gotten them over the past year or so. So my ideal criminal client is, you don't necessarily not have to be guilty, just not guilty of the crime they charged you of. I say that, but honestly, there's really no ideal client for me.
Sure.
Outside of somebody who really offers more so of the full disclosure, and somebody that can really kind of express what it is that they're looking for, or that they really want to kind of get out of the case that we're looking at. If they're not realistic all the time, that kind of can be a bit more of a challenge. But those clients tend to be the ones that are related to me. So that's kind of expected. They're actually my most difficult clients. If they're related to me, they're my most difficult clients. But as far as practicing, I do criminal, I do some family, and we do personal injury. I do some civil litigation. It really depends. We are getting into plaintiff work for insurance companies. So definitely I was affected by the storm like many other people were, and they're having the same issues with their insurance companies, telling them that their house is livable when they have, no air in the summer of Louisiana summer, or they have mold that is toxic. And they're saying, you can live in your house. Sure, you can do that. No, you can't. Or they find themselves kind of getting into a fight over what they're paying for. It's like, I paid for this protection. Now that I actually need it, I'm unable to utilize it. So because I've personally been affected, I believe that we're getting more into that now, to kind of help people navigate things that they don't typically go through as far as dealing with insurance companies.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's always a difficult situation. I keep hearing different stories coming out of, especially Lake Charles right now with what's going on with Hurricane Laura. So, Olivia, help us understand. So, you've had a long corporate career, right?
Yeah.
Help our audience understand how flexible you've had to be over the years, not necessarily just changing jobs, but that could be a part of it. But even in corporate life. In fact, at Abbott, you had 2 different types of territories that you covered.
For me, it's about being adaptable to your area and to, what you're willing to learn. I was very resilient, very motivated to, right out of college, somebody put a contract in front of you, like, whoo, okay, yeah, let me get to work. But, you have to work and be very motivated to get up every single morning. And for me, the transition I've taken from corporate America to entrepreneurship to even getting back into the industry, I had to do what was best for me at the time and, not be afraid to take that leap. I call myself sometimes like the traveling gypsy, because, I'm quick to pack a bag and, ready to go. But I think I owe it to myself to see what else is out there and give myself opportunity to grow into that role and take what I've learned, those nuggets, and bring it back to wherever, I want to settle down. And I think that's really helped me to transition from Texas, Louisiana to the East Coast, and back here. So that's the biggest thing, is just being resilient and going out and do it, and don't doubt yourself.
Yeah, you hit on a excellent point right there, and Orelia and Octavia, you'll be able to comment on this if you want to as well. But you make an excellent point right there, being resilient. And Tanisha Hunter says she has so many people need to hear this conversation. Said young people settling for amazing things instead of going out. They settle for things instead of going out and being resilient, flexible, being able to bounce back. So that's awesome. Orelia or Octavia, you have any comment around that?
I think a lot of people are scared to take a chance. And I'm saying that because I know at a moment in time I was as well. But having my fiance on my side made me look at life just differently. And it's okay to take risks. And I know in the family, Olivia has always been the biggest risk taker out of all 3 of us, for sure. You think? I know so. She has moved out, like any job, she's like, okay, I'm going. You're paying off, I'm going. Like, she is like, no question. She's not even thinking about it. For me, it was, I have to think about it first. Like, I have to talk it out. I got to make sure that, but now I'm okay with taking a risk, taking a chance, even just learning from both of my sisters as well. So
I think fear can be paralyzing. I was a professional student, so job opportunities were not as rampantly available. Huge difference. Like, Olivia graduated from college and she can get a nice 6-figure job offer. By the time I graduated, those offers had quickly evaporated. because the recession had happened. So I think most people should probably take away, you definitely have to be okay failing. And I think for myself, I didn't have anyone that had really high expectations or saying I had to accomplish this, that, or the other. Our parents just kind of went with what we were going with that day. And they said, okay, sure, you can do whatever you want to do, whatever you put your mind to. And so it made it a lot easier for me to just kind of jump in feet first and say, if it works, great. If it doesn't, I figured out that this isn't going to be the best way to do that.
And the big thing for me, Cedrick, I think we put society puts a lot of pressure on us coming, from small town as African American females, and we have to really kind of hone in on who do we want to please? Is it ourselves? Is it our parents, or is it society painting this picture for us? And again, we had a great foundation of we can start something, but if you start, you have to finish. And whatever that looks like. So if you moved away, you have to give yourself the opportunity to grow and allow for those failures. So, put society behind you. If you put ourselves first and stay, faithful and prayed up, then I think everything else just kind of falls into place.
Wow. Well, that's actually a awesome comment that you just made. And it's amazing because, in a lot of times especially in Louisiana, families want you to stay close. Oh, baby, don't move away. Mama not going to be able to reach you, right?
My parents should be used to us literally calling and telling them, like, hey, I'm moving, like, out of the state. And I mean, a week's notice. Because when I went to New York, I'm pretty sure I gave my mother a week's notice.
If that.
I think it was a week.
I doubt it.
So you had a lot of time to prep for a week, huh?
Right. I was like, I'm letting you know I'm leaving.
I think he told us and literally left like 3 days later.
Wow. Well, that's definitely, we always say jump and build your wings on the way down, right? And wow. So help us understand this. So let's start with Octavia. Tell me so far, what's been one of the most defining moments of your life?
Motherhood. And I say that because I had her at the beginning of the pandemic, and it is not what I expected for her first year, I guess you can say. I mean, she's only 8 months, but this is not what I expected. But I'm happy it did because I was able to be home with her. Especially that I couldn't get a job, but I'm able to watch her grow. And I don't think if I was working, I would be able to see her grow every day and enjoy those moments with her. So I'm very, thankful for that. But then again, on the upside, it's not working, not, accomplishing any goals because everything is kind of put on hold.
Sure. Yeah.
But becoming a mother has, not only defined me, but my life as well.
Wow. That's profound. That's awesome. Octavia, Orelia, what about yourself?
Don't worry, our parents do that too. I think at this point in my life where I am, the most defining moment for me was understanding that I was not just a lawyer, but understanding that I was a Black female lawyer. And understanding the connotations that kind of come with that and how people try to put you in a box. I think for me, that was probably the moment that it kind of set in when I was standing in court and getting addressed very disrespectfully by a judge. Mm-hmm. It was one of those defining moments for me that kind of let me understand why I'm fighting and why there's the need for you to keep moving forward, because people really do treat you differently based off of the color of your skin or what they think about you. and there really are two different systems that apply when you're dealing with people's livelihood in their lives. And in this particular instance, it wasn't a criminal case; it was a civil case.
Yeah. Can I add something to what she's talking about?
Sure.
You know, a lot of people here in the community, you know, I'm very well known in Jennings. They used to think I was the lawyer. But everybody would be like, you know, your sister holds her ground. Like, you know, she's not giving up. Like, you know, they're rude to her in the courtroom, but, you know, she's keeping her composure. And I know she has a lot of the Black community here in Jennings because, one, she is the only Black female lawyer here, and she's not bowing down to them at all. And she's keep continuing to go back and fight for her clients. And I do say I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Oh, look at that.
I'm just happy because I know a lot of people would give up or, you know, maybe get discouraged, but, you know, she's still holding on strong.
It's so unfortunate to see that there are so many people who deserve great representation. And because I'm a woman, that seems to be an issue, or because I'm a Black woman, that seems to be a problem. And I'll say this, I have a very, very diverse clientele. And as a matter of fact, this particular day in court, when that happened, and it was, I might be going to jail today. In all fairness, my mother has actually come to the police station for me, like, while I was working, because she was like, Lord, they're gonna take my child to jail. Like, I was going to see a client and they didn't want to let me. At about 11:45, I see my mom passing by the station as I'm walking out. Like, I just know my child.
So you mean Harriet had on her slippers and she's gonna take her earrings off and she was ready?
She came with the earrings already off, like she knew it was her child. But people deserve better, and our parents told us that. And I have a voice, and I'm expected to use it, and I'm going to do that. And I think I keep getting kind of the same feel in certain areas, especially here in Jennings. It's not. I'm never going to be okay with you not doing the right thing.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Olivia, you're always smiling. You all three always smile, but I know you always smile. And so tell us, you know, what it is that makes you just smile all the time and be happy with life. You know, so many people are always frowned up. They look like they're ready to just like put their fist up and fight everything around them. What keeps you motivated and smiling all the time?
I mean, for me, you know, everybody's given the same 24 hours in a day. You know, so I can, you know, have whatever issue is going on with me show to the world when I get out my car, or just basically, you know, a smile is a universal kind of sign language almost. So why should I bring whatever is troubling me outside of my four doors, outside of my four windows? You know, so I keep that same energy, no matter if I'm having like a down day, a bad day. Whenever I walk out that door, go down my steps, you know, it's a new atmosphere, a new environment. And when I come back up my stairs, you know, I can cry if I choose to, but whenever I'm outside, you know, I want that to represent me at all times. Like, everybody's like, oh, you're known for your smile. Like, if that's the one thing you know me for, then I feel like I've made some type of small impact, you know, on you, no matter when I see you. I never made a stranger. So that's just kind of what keeps me going.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's a Southern Louisiana thing is, you know, we can say hi to everybody, right?
I did learn the hard way though.
And I just be waiting. I'm like, oh, I'm in Beaumont. You
can't talk to everybody on the East Coast because they think you're weird, you're new, and it's rude to speak to people when you live up there. Like, my bad.
Right. Absolutely. So now we're going to do a quick round of Would You Rather. Okay. So all three of you, would you rather, and we'll start with Orelia, would you rather pick the year that you die or the way that you die?
Probably the way. I'm typically not very timely. I also don't really want to die in the summer because it's hot. You have to put clothes on. Like, it's a lot. So the wintertime is going to be better for me.
Okay. All right.
Like,
So,
you know,
Octavia?
probably say the question again.
Would you rather pick the year that you die or the way that you die?
Probably the way that I die.
The way?
Yeah, because I don't want to put a time limit on myself. Like, and then, let me die in peace. Like, I don't, like, let me die in my sleep or something.
Okay, all right.
Feel it.
I want the opposite. Like, I want like a big splash. I don't want it to just be like, oh, she was sleeping. Like, that's anticlimactic.
I died peaceful. What they say, when you die in your sleep, they die peaceful.
Well, what if you were having a bad dream?
Olivia?
I want to die spontaneously. Hopefully on the beach though, near the water. I'm a water person, so keep me peaceful. The world is 90% water and 10%, what you make of it. So let me go in peace in the water.
Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna give each one of you a different one. Let's go with Octavia first. Would you rather have free Apple products forever or free Wi-Fi wherever you go?
Wi-Fi wherever I go.
Okay.
I don't even touch my phone now. Every time I talk about something, like, it just pops up.
Change your privacy settings.
I did. It's still work.
All right. So, Olivia, would you rather have your own private island or your own private jet?
Oh, I need my jet.
Jet.
It's where I gotta go.
Okay.
Really?
I love to go.
I didn't think she was gonna choose that one.
Yeah, I know.
I should choose the island.
Well, how are you gonna get there?
She always finds a way.
So, Aurelia, would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real hard money?
Are these gift cards redeemable?
Are they what?
Are they redeemable for cash?
Yeah, well, you can get Amazon gift cards that are like a Visa or a MasterCard. You can buy them.
So I'd probably go with $1 million worth of gift cards because there are companies who'll buy them from you.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can at least get
a profit,
right?
And make
$1 million, and I can re-gift them. I love gift stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I love Amazon. So you guys are all sports people. So would you rather be a ninja or a pirate?
Ninja.
Ninja. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for playing Would You Rather. All right. So, Aurelia, what do you love the most about practicing law, and what do you love the least?
Hey, Miss Dana, that's one of our clients' mom. She's pretty awesome.
Okay.
I love my clients. I think that is the one thing that I love the most, and the ability to meet people, meet their families, because most cases don't affect just the person that comes in. It's really, a family thing, whether it's criminal or civil. It's their entire family is affected. What I like the least sometimes are the other lawyers. That's a little difficult.
Okay. They're not listening right now, so you're good.
Yeah, judges are lawyers too. Yeah, definitely the other lawyers.
Yeah. You don't want the judges to be hearing this. All right. So, Olivia, if you could give salespeople 2 to 3 things that would help them in their career, what would it be?
One, establish your network, because you have to network to pivot and to maneuver throughout your career. Find a mentor. And the last thing would be save all your money. Take your salary and use it for bills, and take your bonus and use it for a rainy day. That's my advice.
Awesome. Well, that's good. That's good advice. So let me go here. So growth has to be intentional. And Octavia, you said something earlier about growth, right? And you have to be intentional in order to grow. So what do you do currently for personal and professional growth now that you're done with school?
Now that I'm done with school, well, I talk to Olivia every day. Kind of like the role model to Aurelia.
They say I don't answer my phone.
You don't.
72 hours.
I go back.
But with Olivia kind of being my role model, I try to take some of the things that she do as far as like researching if I don't know anything. I'm on my computer, probably my phone more than my computer, kind of researching things. And my fiance gets on my case if I'm not reading. I have yet to really finish a book. I get through like 2/4 of a book. What's that?
2/4 of a book?
What's that? Let's just say like a.
Well, that's like 50%.
Like a whole piece. I'm only in there like.
You mean 3/4?
No. Maybe a half. But not
Yeah, well, 2/4.
But it's not. No, because that's too little.
Well,
We just go with like a half, but 3/4 now.
Yeah, that's over half.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 2/4 is a half.
Okay. No.
Okay. Yeah, are funny. So the question here is about a mentor. Okay, I know Octavia, you said, hey, Olivia and Aurelia are your mentors, but Olivia, do you have a mentor? Aurelia, do you have a mentor?
I do. I have a few because there are multiple different avenues to get where you want to get in life. And I'm a huge proponent of learning from somebody who has already done it. There is no need for me to reinvent the wheel. I just make it a little bit better for me. So mentors they're essential, whether it's in your profession, your personal life, your spiritual life. It's really essential so that you have somebody who can really understand what you're going through and kind of help guide you and say, look, I've been through that. It's okay. Or I've never gone through that. So whatever you do, it'll work one way or the other.
Exactly. Olivia?
Yes, I definitely have mentors on different levels, spiritual mentors, which I think is a very huge piece. And some of my friends, in my circle, my intentional circle that I have, that I can bounce ideas off of, as well as, older adults in my professional and personal life.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So now I'm going to take the reverse of that question. Who are you mentoring?
I've got someone. I don't know. Her name is Kayla. She was helping me out last time. She is a Northwestern girl, and she wants to go to law school. She's very, very intentional with her time and what she wants to do. I can't wait until January. She'll be amazing. But it's kind of your obligation and your duty to mentor someone. No matter what stage you are in life, no matter what your story is, there's always someone who can learn from what you've been through. So she is definitely one of my most active mentees. Mm-hmm. And, look, if anyone comes to me and says like, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing, okay, this is when I go to court or come to my office, I'll be happy to make the time to give you the rundown and answer your questions.
Awesome. And I know that as soon as we can get back in schools, somebody's going to be mentoring on Millionaire Girls Mentoring Program, a mentor in Millionaire Girls Mentoring Program as well.
I'm very, very excited about that.
Yes, as soon as we can ever get back into school, because it's crazy right now. So, Olivia, are you mentoring someone right now?
I don't have anyone in particular. I always, give advice when asked about advice, but, because of the situation and times, it's kind of been more of just being a listening ear. for those to kind of bounce ideas. So no one person in particular.
Okay. All right. Octavia?
Yeah, kind of the same as Olivia. I try to help my cousins as well, being that they look up to me. Some of my friends that don't really know what path they want to be on, and I just tell them all the time, like, it's okay to take your own path. I didn't do what my sisters did. Like, I didn't graduate school and then go to college. Like, I kind of just swerved around a little bit to really figure out what you wanted to do. You just gotta find yourself.
Yeah. Well, and there's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with doing this, the swerve or bob and weave and all that type of stuff. People can learn. Octavia, Aurelia said something great. People can learn from you at every stage of your life. Now, what were you finna say, Aurelia?
I just want you to do the bob and weave again.
So you got jokes. So tell me, I have a couple more questions. But tell me, what's next for you in life, whether it's in your professional life, your personal life, whatever you want to share. What's next for you? Start with Olivia.
For me, I was given some advice early on, in my life, is to always give yourself a vacation. No matter if you, retire yourself at whatever point. So I at least attempt to try to go out of the country or somewhere to get a passport stamp, because I believe in, making memories and making my own magazine and not just look at it. And so what's next for me is, continuing going down the road of my pivot at this particular time, obtaining my license as an insurance adjuster, and then from there go into other states and, be an independent insurance adjuster for myself.
Okay, well, I can definitely tell you that Olivia definitely believes in traveling. I'm always seeing her somewhere in some island somewhere.
I said the same thing.
Like, wow.
Exactly,
yeah. So, Octavia, what's next for you?
What's next is just continuing the journey to learn in the contract business with my fiance. And as Olivia stated, I'm trying to finish up my classes for insurance adjuster as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
It's being so hard to try to find a job. It's kind of like, what can you do for yourself to make a living?
So I know that there are two people on here that are engaged. So I'm assuming that that's sometime in the future, right?
Sure. Oh, no, it is. It definitely is. We are clearly not very alike in some aspects. I like a calendar and a schedule. Yeah. And my sister is the opposite of that, where she will call you and say, "Hey, I'm going to get married tomorrow."
But no, she was trying to plan. So before she got engaged last year, before everything, Corona and everything, she was like, soon as I got engaged, okay, when's the wedding date? I'm like, give me time to enjoy being engaged. Well, don't worry about it, because I'm already planning your bachelor's trip and everything else.
Yeah.
It's my wedding. I'm confused. Like, you can have your own wedding. You don't have to plan like, she even tried to name my kid. She was telling everybody that my child name was Penelope. And
it was
so
Penelope.
People believed that and was like, "Oh, the baby's name is Penelope." No,
yes.
So she tries to plan my life because I'm not a planner. I like to just live day by day, wake up. Like, I plan things, but sometimes things don't go as planned, and I'm okay with that. But she likes to have a certain.
I'm okay with that. I just needed a good timeline, and she did not want to cooperate with that. So I'm just helping it along.
All right. So I know that you're engaged as well, Miss Aurelia. So when is your date?
So we're probably planning for next year, as long as they have the restrictions on how many people can come to a wedding. I think that that's a big challenge for us. We both have really large families, and I have a family full of women. So they all have to come. Like, no matter what the pandemic is, if they have restrictions, those rules don't apply. So
Yeah, I'd like to see you tell somebody they can't come.
right, they're coming. Like they're gonna be like, ma'am, I don't care about your restrictions. I'm here. And good luck telling these Southern women no. So winter of 2021.
Okay, all right. Interesting. So now here's my question, my final question for you guys. Well, actually, no, it's not my final question. Next to the final question is, so when the cameras are off and you're just like sitting at home, you're not on an island in a bikini and all that type stuff, you're just chilling out at home. What's the dessert that you eat?
Me? Everything. I love dessert.
Okay, all right. Give me one dessert. What's your favorite dessert?
You better say my homemade cookies that I always have to bake for her.
I haven't had those cookies yet, though. Where are my cookies? I've been waiting for these cookies for 2 weeks.
I mean, does dessert wine count?
Dessert wine? Okay, that's okay.
I like wine. I love chocolate. So chocolate pairs well with wine, and it's just a good decompression at the end of a day. It could be every day, but at the end of the day.
Not every day, Olivia.
Well, my mom says that that's healthy for you. One glass
is healthy.
Oh my God. That's what the books
wine has a lot of antioxidants.
Yeah, the books say that, but we know what happens with that. Then you stop.
In moderation.
Yeah, then it's every hour and
every day is moderation.
Agrees with that.
So Octavia, what's your favorite dessert?
I think it depends the week, because I can go from like cookies, maybe nothing but cakes,
cheesecake. We like cheesecake.
I haven't been on cheesecake. Like when I was pregnant, it's like no sweets. It was so crazy to me. I did not want any sweets. So now I'm kind of like getting back into the sweets. So I probably just have to say cookies for now.
Okay, cookies. All right, chocolate chip or?
Well, I do chocolate chip, white chocolate chip, and
I like dark chocolate chip.
Yeah, I like milk chocolate chip with pecans. But I make the best chocolate chip pecan cookies around. So
we're gonna just have to
never know.
I haven't got any cookies.
Well, on your third appearance, that's when you get them. See?
We'll take tomorrow.
I don't think you have anything on my cookies.
Okay. So here's my final question for each of you. So if there was a book that was written about you, what would the title be? And what would the back of the book say in the summary about you? So let's start with Aurelia.
I think my book would probably say "Oh." Like the title would be "Oh." Okay. Now, there may be some other descriptive words that could go behind that.
All right. And then what would the summary say about you?
I think the summary would probably be, this is going to be a great read. You will never have a dull moment.
Okay, I can see that. All right. Miss Olivia?
That was a hard question because I couldn't put a title to the book.
You're gonna call it O2?
I'm always O1.
Okay. O1. I'm sorry.
Always and forever. But I'm not really sure what the summary would be, but I know there'd be different chapters about the development of me, as a person, and a passport into the life of O.
Passport into the life of O.
It's cool.
Okay. All right. So then Octavia?
Probably somewhere in the means of do it yourself, create your own path. And the back would probably be something more of continue your own journey, not for other people, but for yourself. Don't do what society says you're supposed to do. Like, do what you feel the need to do because you have your own timing of things. Everybody's timing is different. So it just, create your own path, do your own thing, and enjoy life while doing it.
Okay, I like that. So 01, 02, and this is 03 book, and create your own path in life. I absolutely love that. This has been a fun hour. It's amazing that it's been an hour already, but it has been a fun hour talking with you three. And I want to thank you, first of all, for being willing to come on and talk to Leadership with Cedrick and sharing with the audience. And I see you had a lot of comments here, and Tanisha said several times, this is funny. She's enjoying it, and she loves you guys' story. Thank her for tuning in, and Dana as well. And I love her final comment. Tanisha says, you are also self-aware. Just in these few minutes of what I've learned about you, your book titles seem so fitting.
Thank you.
So that is awesome. And again, I really appreciate you guys coming on. So Olivia, Orelia, you have a law business. So let's make sure that we put your information out here. So if someone wanted to reach you, how could they do that?
You can reach me via telephone at 337.
Wait, let me type it in and put it in the comments. 337
275 5124. Or you guys can email us at lawdinslaw@gmail.com. We're located at 221 East Academy Avenue, Suite B, in Jennings, Louisiana. Or you can Facebook one of my sisters that you think is me.
Probably me. I get that as well. Yeah, I get all the messages and stories.
Start billing me, but I'm fine with it.
Awesome. So, not Aurelia, but Octavia or Olivia, do you guys have anything you want to promote or have people get in contact with you with? If you don't, it's okay, but I just want to make sure.
Nothing to promote. I just have my regular name on Facebook, as well as LinkedIn, as well as all social medias. I don't believe in, switching my name up. There's only one me, so either you find me or you don't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm like that as well. Octavia?
Yeah, you can follow me on Facebook. Or if anybody needs any type of contracting work, roofing, flooring, anything. Our company is called Grounded Creations.
It's called Ground what?
Grounded Creations.
Grounded Creation. I'm gonna put that in the comments. Okay.
Okay, and you can reach us at 409.
Wait, hold on. I'm a little bit older. So 409
209 3080.
All right. Awesome.
Give out free estimates. We just, want to help people, being that, we live in Beaumont. We saw what happened to a lot of people in the Port Arthur and Beaumont area with contractors that really left them with nothing.
Wow.
So, we definitely want to help everybody out as much as possible.
Awesome. Well, I put that in the comments so people can reach you and contact you if they need to. So, folks, every Monday night we have Talk Leadership with Cedrick at 6:30 Central Time. Every Tuesday night at 5:30 we have Talk Leadership with Cedrick Central Time right here on Facebook and YouTube. And then at 6:30 tonight we go to the Empowered Living channel on Facebook and the Black Entrepreneurs Institute. That's our live show. And tonight we will be interviewing a guest by the name of Joseph Bojang. So go there and listen to him. Next Tuesday, tune in because I'm going to be teaching live on the Empowered Living Network. That's Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Every Thursday, you can get Talk Leadership with Cedrick on the radio at 4 p.m. Central Time on ibgr.network, and come back here at 7:30 tonight for Talk with TK and the Mindset 180 Academy. Now, I always want you to know that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Don't be on the menu. Thank you guys and good night.